Hello everyone and welcome to the ScratchRunning Podcast, the official podcast of competitive browser gaming. In this monthly series, me and the Scratchrunners talk about what we've seen on Scratch and about Scratch as a platform. And as always, I'm your host Kieran, and with me on the mic are the boys. We got
What?
Derite4
Yeah.
from, HmYesQuite and Apfellord.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
So, thank you all for joining us for episode 8, a very spooky episode of the ScratchRunning Podcast.
That's the sound effect.
It
of the spooky
might be
man.
the Halloween special.
Very well
I
done.
don't know.
It is. Because this one's gonna be uploaded a bit later, right?
Maybe.
Than the time we recorded, so it's probably in time for the spook season.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a little post-Halloween cheer.
It's not going to take us that long to edit.
Probably not. Probably not. But we'll see, depending on how this episode goes. So obviously, since it's spook season,
Yeah.
Spooktober, we have a bunch of topics today, or one overarching topic, which is spookiness in general.
Spooktober.
It's Spooktober. And so we have stuff like I don't know, our favorite Halloween games or stuff in Halloween games, or we're maybe even gonna tell some spooky stories
Maybe.
and play some spooky music along the way and
If
pitch our
you-
voices.
If
Like
you can
I don't know.
edit music into the cast.
Ooh.
I mean, probably, I don't know, maybe we shall see.
Mhm.
So
Also, should I mention that we have 250 followers on Scratch?
you
Mhm.
absolutely should. I think
Yo,
Yeah,
Thank
that's a
you.
big thing.
thank you
Thank
all
you.
for listening to the Scratchrunning Podcast.
Absolutely.
250 people. That's a quarter of 1,000. We're almost the whole way there.
I
Thank you
also
so
want
much.
to mention that. Yeah. Thanks to everybody.
Yeah.
That's
Very cool of you.
like after almost even more than half a year now of doing this, 250 people have decided, hey, I want to listen to this thing, and that's quite amazing to me.
That is really cool.
Like, imagine 250 people in like in real life. That's a lot of people that are listening to you.
That would
That's
take
always
up a lot of space.
that's always the thing that I do when I read these numbers. That makes it
Yeah.
it puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So let's just jump into it.
I
Sure.
think that's a good idea. Today, we have decided to talk about Halloween, obviously, and I think we should start off with mentioning some of our favorite Halloween-ish games. And I think Kieran, you had one.
Yeah.
That's
I have a
by chance also a
I
Scratch
have
game.
a Scratch game I want to talk about. It's called Spooky Run by the Chaotic, and it was released. I
Oh!
Oh,
think-
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was released last Halloween, I think. Maybe the Halloween before. Yeah, Halloween 2017. The Chaotic released Spooky Run, which is
Like,
now
wh-
in version 1.32. It's a nice little running game.
What happened to it, like with the updates, or was it just like?
I think I think it was more of a one-off.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he has these things where he he has a bunch of games like Arena that he keeps working on, which
Yeah.
by the way got a new update. Like, what was it, today or yesterday?
I'm
Um,
glad
he,
I'm glad I have you folks to like tell me about this because
Yeah.
I never get, because like it's not getting re-shared, and so I never get the update for them.
That's true. You know what? Let's I'm gonna jump
Yeah,
off
party
of this.
mode got added to Arena just in time for Halloween. Isn't that
Yes.
crazy?
I think
Oh.
that's a feature that Scratch should have. Like, just saying, hey, this project has a big update. Like, not resharing the game, but telling people
Yeah.
that it's
Instead
I
of
saw
different.
I saw Arena version 1.99 because the Chaotic re-loved and favorited it.
Oh, that's. Oh my god, that's an
that's
idea.
like the workaround. You know, Scratch gives you a problem and you learn how to solve it.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly. We know about those.
Huh, yeah.
That's really good. That's really clever. I've had a similar problem with Super Fighter Tournament where like Edward came out and I mean obviously like I don't expect a huge influx of people like rediscovering the game for themselves, but you know it would be nice to have like a big update came out button.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Sure,
an
sure.
update button would be pretty good.
yeah, I think.
Especially because
Or,
they've
like-
already given us the nice feature of like if you share something with the same name, it'll just incorporate into the same slot.
Yes, that's perfect. But that only works if you're working on it offline and then upload it. I guess you can work on it online, like share or make a copy, then oh god, that's another workaround, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't work on the project directly and say, okay, don't upload this every 5 seconds. So, I guess in other news, I guess games always do this thing where they have like Halloween events. I'm thinking about doing one for Months World also.
Oh, really?
Saying that, but
Spooky
what?
World.
Okay. Everything's stony but spookier.
Added spook.
But if anybody of you plays Terraria, now's the season. This the season to get some.
To get the
goodie
Halloween
bags.
costumes.
Terraria does that very well. Terraria always has a good. There's also Christmas season in Terraria, I believe, and
Nice.
just a good game overall for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I lost my train of thought.
Uh-oh.
I'll pick it up for you then.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
The biggest Halloween project I'm thinking of on Scratch at least is, and I did mention this before, but it's Halloween Night by Ripe Mangoes.
Halloween Night. Is that like Hollow Knight?
No,
It's Hollow Knight.
it's
but
closer to Shovel Knight
Oh,
What?
in its
Shovel Knight.
gameplay. Yeah, it's beautifully sprited. It's like a fun game. There's like boss fights in it that are good.
Does it
well
does
put
it have a
together.
fishing minigame?
Close.
Nice.
Ooh.
Why am I not?
And but I
following-
shouldn't raise hopes. By close, I mean, well, there's a fish in it.
Nice.
Perfect.
And
Why am I not
think-
following Ripe Mangoes?
I don't know, man. He's very good.
Very
fellow.
cool.
He's another person who I'd wonder if we got him in the sort of if in the community if he'd come on. Who knows? Right, Mangoes, if you're listening,
Join Scratch
we
Running.
think you're. I think you're cool. We think you're cool.
You could speak for us all.
You make very good
Oh,
video
yeah.
games.
And let's see,
Let me take a
offline,
sip of water.
or by offline I mean off Scratch.
Mm.
There's
The scary place.
yes,
Just in time
in the
for
scary
Halloween.
place there is a scary game that I had a bit of dumb fun with last year. Which is
Duking
called
enabled.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Graveyard Shift 2. If you search it, you're gonna have to throw the word itch on there, ITCH, because that's the website it's hosted on.
Ah.
Otherwise, you get a whole bunch of other
itch.io.
stuff that's named the same thing. But the premise of the game is you are one or more skeletons, depending on how many players you're
Nice.
using. You're guarding your graveyard. You're having a good time, but then all these pesky kids start coming around and kicking all the graves. So you've got to
No.
deal with that. So you either play trumpets at the kids,
Darn
Or-
kids these age are my age.
yeah, and then you
Just
pick
kinda
up the
dupe
kids
people.
and you throw them back out of the graveyard.
Yeet.
And I don't know what this is rated between, like, you know,
E for
say for
everyone.
everyone. If it's either everyone or like PG equivalent, because
I see.
you throw out the kids and then their parents get mad, and then you throw out the parents,
too?
So like,
then you
throw out
how
the
many
parents and the
5-year-olds
police
could
get
you
mad,
fight gotten
and then
gone
you-
wrong?
and then you throw out the police and the military gets mad. So like, yeah,
You just keep on graveyard shifting until you get 5-star wanted.
but
You
it's
mean-
just it's very cartoonish. It's all just silly. I think it's
Yeah.
great fun.
Silly fun.
It's
I think-
weirdly hard. I don't know why.
Oh,
Ooh.
dooting is hard. Doot
It is.
Doot doot.
It's very time
You get it?
consuming.
Doot.
Nick, do you have any Halloween games you would recommend?
Dude, it's a very good question. I think I guess my my answer to this was literally just, hey, play Terraria now. 'Cause I don't like have a. The thing is, I don't like horror games and or horror movies, so I don't play them a
I
lot.
see.
Like or spooky movies, I guess.
Yeah.
Or spooky games. But I guess there's always this thing with Halloween that you have where you have a game like night. What is it, like Graveyard Shift?
Ah, yeah.
Right.
Where you just like, it's silly fun, right? It's not supposed to be scary or anything. It's just
Right.
Like
in
a
the spirit of
Halloween meme.
Yeah, exactly. But
Well, like, I
I
don't-
don't even have a game of that. Like, so.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just because I am weirdly amused by skeletons in that like specific like I
Like
think
the
they're meant to be scary,
Spooktober.
but they definitely aren't.
Like the context of Spooktober just makes them comedy gold.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Also, why trumpets? I like trumpets.
Yeah, I
But
think
why?
I think there's a video called Thank Mr. Skeletal, and it's just
I
a
remember that.
doot doot. If we want to talk about Halloween browser games, I guess we could mention the Great Ghoul Duel.
Oh,
We
yes.
Yeah, we played that
Oh,
earlier.
yes.
Honestly,
Yes.
if there's
Yeah.
any time that you can just go off on this, it's now. So absolutely go for it.
Nice. So, back in Halloween 2018, the guys at Google decided that they'd turn the Google logo into a really fun online multiplayer browser game called The Great Ghoul Duel. It was only on the Google front page for 2 days, and then it was put in the Disney Vault of the Google Doodle Archive for like a year. And the servers
Really
are going to
unfortunate.
shut down one day, but yeah,
No.
like
But
Google
in our
aren't going to.
hearts-
Yeah,
Here at Scratch Running, it's never been put away.
yeah.
Dude, if
And by our hearts, I mean your heart specifically. Carrie.
Yeah, this is probably one of the best online multiplayer games I've ever played. And
is so
Google
good.
aren't going to do anything else with the Great Ghoul Duel. And that's
at least
kind of
that's what you
sad.
think. Like, I think the idea for the game is so good. It's basically like, how would you describe the game?
It's like
in
reverse
quick-
slither.io, because like in slither.io,
It's good.
you can't touch anyone else's tail or you lose. But in the Great Ghoul Duel, if you touch someone else's tail, you steal their spirit flames and you get more points.
So basically, you go around collecting these like spirits,
Yeah,
and you have to take them back to your base.
yeah.
But the opponent can obviously like try to.
They can steal.
interrupt
They
you.
can steal your
Yeah.
fire and flames.
And there's power-ups, obviously, because that's what makes a good game. Always
Yeah.
power-ups, no matter what. I actually mean it. Like they add a good bit of fun to the
Like,
game.
this is a
Be right back,
really-
adding power-ups to Fringe of Forces.
Yeah, nice. Go back to base to walk through walls.
Yeah, that's one of the things. There's
Yeah.
like overpowered, but they appear late in the game, so they're like it's balanced.
Like,
it's
it's
really
fair
balanced.
and
That's what
balanced. It's-
surprised me.
It is absolutely amazing.
Imagine if Google made
Yeah,
a
what-
fighting game.
Yo,
I mean,
maybe
I don't know if they would.
like they do
the
a
thing.
they do a Halloween doodle every year, and
Mhm.
in 2016 and 2015 it was also a browser game. And I just remember in 2017 it was an animated video that was also pretty good.
Mhm.
Okay,
Like, that's also
I
in the
don't
Doodle
remember
archive.
those. All I remember is Ghoul Duel because it's good.
It's a good game. Hold up,
I remember the
just
cat spellcasting one, but that was single player. That wasn't competitive.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
I
I
remember
remember
that
that.
too.
Okay, now
It's
now
a
you say
Magic
it.
Cat
I
Academy.
remember breaking my index finger into several pieces trying to do all that on a touchpad.
Oh no!
I remember playing that game in school the day Halloween.
Not gonna lie,
Is it-
I also did that. Cause
Is Halloween a holiday in any like? Do you
It
get the
re-
day off?
it really
any
is.
Heck no.
country?
Uh,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, for one thing, all
Makes
the
sense.
festivities happen in the evening, and so
yeah.
True.
it wouldn't
yeah.
intersect with when your job. Also, it's mostly
Like
it's
our
not for working adults.
our
like-
autumn
Okay,
break
okay, I
in
see. You-
school is overlaps with Halloween, but yeah,
It makes sense. Like it makes sense that it is. Also, because like here in Germany, we just I don't know, kids go around collect candy, right, and
Mhm.
people
Yeah.
party.
Nice.
But it's not nearly as big as it is in America probably. But
Yeah,
it's
so we
slowly
basically
starting to
we
take over.
do that, but just more so.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Just
more of it.
multiplied.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm currently looking at Kieran posted a nice screenshot
Yeah,
of all the.
a nice screen cap of the last 6 Halloween Google Doodles, and there's gonna be one
So we
this
have-
year, and it's not gonna be the Great Ghoul Duel 2. I am absolutely
Oh.
gonna break at least one other person's heart saying this, but
Is that like confirmed?
I mean,
That's my question.
I mean
That's
they
my question. Is it
never
confirmed?
really continue on with the other Halloween Google Doodles.
Sure,
so,
sure.
What if they did? What if
Yeah.
they did?
Like
It's such a
Maybe.
good game.
like the Great Ghoul Duel is gonna last forever, maybe.
Hopefully.
Until the
if
server
they-
shut down.
If
Maybe.
they stop the servers for Ghoul Duel, I'm gonna make Ghoul Duel in Scratch. What?
Yeah. Well, because like the other one can keep going even if a new one arrives.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Just look at the Smash Brothers series.
Oh god.
Yeah, people really are still playing Smash Bros. Melee, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
So
but
you
it's
know,
a
in a
it's a
similar
weird
way,
scene.
if I mean, heck, if Ghoul Duel 2 comes out, I'm sure there are gonna be people being like, yeah, but
Yeah,
Ghoul
it's not
Duel
as
1
good as
was
the first
better.
one.
Yeah.
Dude, Ghoul Duel 1 still had the classic power-ups. Like, I don't want
I don't want to.
all
I'm
this
sick of the.
like super laser nonsense when I can just walk up
Why?
the wall.
Why can Periwinkle now? Why does Olive have a gun? Olive, the cat from the
for
Ghoul
a
Duel.
neutral special,
He-
Olive wields a gun.
A gun.
Exactly.
Oh, dude, Ghoul Duel, but in Smash. Okay,
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
a bit
Oh.
ambitious.
Keep dreaming, kid.
never. First we gotta get. Wait, we just got Sans. Indie games.
Kinda.
Google is a big
Yeah.
company. They can probably
Google.
just pay
Google are probably a
Nintendo.
triple A rather than indie.
I mean, alright. so that's Ghoul Duel. Everybody,
Yeah,
you can
that's-
still find it.
You can play on the Doodle
internet.
Archive,
Mhm.
Yeah,
which is
if you
real
want.
interesting.
Play it with your friends. It's a great bit of fun.
It's an amazing game.
And maybe even this is the time where I pitch our YouTube.
Ooh.
Because we have one.
Maybe
Mhm.
it's-
No links again. We're not gonna post links, and please don't post links.
Yeah,
Don't do
don't.
that.
People in the
Don't
comments,
do
I
that,
see what
that's
you're doing.
illegal.
Stop. No.
Subscribe to Scratch Running.
But yeah, subscribe to ScratchRunning. I think, and I want this to happen. I want a big Ghoul Duel tournament in the ScratchRunning server.
Oh.
So,
right after we play Skywire 1
Skywire 1?
together. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can just have a Ghoul Duel party.
That's amazing. I would love that.
That'd be
And
good.
like, make teams and then see who's the ultimate.
Wait, how many people
Ghoul?
can play at once?
8.
8.
Because
So
if
there's room.
if there's lots of room, we might turn it out to our viewers
Ooh.
because we could. It's online. It's just on the
You
server.
could actually.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't even have a chat system.
Yeah, so
You're
it's
right.
perfect.
That makes
Scratch is
it
fine.
safe for work.
Yo, if any of you have ever played Ghoul Duel or like remember it or want
Like,
to join in, just let us know in the
pull up.
comments. Or
We
let
have
us
a-
know.
What date? What's the date
Or if it's-
for
I don't
this?
I think.
We're gonna.
How about this? If
I like
we
Halloween.
if there's interest for it,
Oh.
we will put out another project, just an interim project, announcing it and letting you guys know all the deets you need to know.
Nice.
Rules,
That's
Oh.
perfect.
who's allowed,
Yeah.
aka probably everyone.
Only 8 people per server so that I can actually start the game because I don't want to get the 10 out of 8 players glitch.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
The-
Stay tuned in the Wobble Cave.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Ooh. That was a pretty spooky pun, I think.
Is there gonna be a update for June's that's like Halloween based, where we can play?
I did not make that game with the intent to like build off it
Ah.
anymore. It was just a silly
see.
idea.
Like,
I
that was
wanted to
just
realize.
filler, so that people don't ask for a Fringe of Forces 2.
Well, not that
Yep.
quite either, because like, eh,
Hmm.
it was just. I think what happened was it was a very small idea that I accidentally worked a bit too hard on, and so it looks like a fully fledged idea.
Uh-oh.
I know
And
exactly.
people were
what you
like,
mean by
"Hey,
this.
why isn't the game good?" I was like, because I didn't mean for it to be."
That's like the
First of
game
all,
dev equivalent
stop.
of a spooky
Yeah.
story.
First of all, that hurts, man.
But no, I know what you mean. Like, I sometimes now I'm trying to keep myself from doing that because I have like stuff that I want to work on and that I want to get done, like Monster World or whatever.
Yeah, man,
Um,
where's Apfellord 17?
Uh, but like when I like get ideas for cool games or I see things that I would really like to make in Scratch, sometimes I get carried away too, which is I guess what
Ah.
happened with all games before Monster World. Because every game before Monster World was just like one silly idea that I had, or
And then you
hey,
just
I want to
kinda-
see if I can make a Smash Bros. Game,
You
and
just
then
kind of made it, and then
all of a
it-
sudden you have Edward in Rivals.
Edward in Rivals of Eva.
Oh yes.
That's
It's just
I'm
how it
never gonna
happened.
get over that. That's just an epic gamer moment.
He's not out yet, by the way, for everybody watching. But
Just you wait though.
Things
he'll
are
he'll be
happening.
DLC for $4.99.
once I get the deal with Dan, what is he called? Dan
Fornace.
Fornace.
Yeah.
Then I'll Dan Furnace. That's
Dan Furnace.
Dan
Furnace.
Furnace.
Dan Crucible.
That just sounds
So-
like the next Rivals of Aether character. Dan Furnace.
He's just an actual furnace.
It's just Gaussen.
Nice.
Called Dan.
Just Gaussen with a different
It's
hat.
just Gaussen. Is Gaussen a furnace? Gaussen from.
Yeah,
From
he's
Film
like a
Forces.
he's like a
Everybody.
he's based off a pot-bellied stove.
I
Nice.
see.
Very thick, also.
Insider
And he's
info-
don't
very
worry,
thick.
he's wearing what seems to be kind of like a witch's hat, so it's still on topic.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
nice
We kind
saying.
of got
I-
carried
I
away
had
from the
forgot.
Halloween theme. Whoops.
Yeah,
I think
don't
that's
worry,
fine.
I am lying.
Aw.
Oh,
He is wearing
I
a
mean,
pointy hat. I'm just making
Now I
excuses.
want you
hmm.
as like announce it as a huge update for Fringe of Forces, and then just put a wizard head on every character, and then you're good. Or like turn Summon to Skull. You know what? Never mind.
I mean,
I'm gonna do this.
if you want to help out with the sprite work, be my guest. It's
Sure.
all there. That's what the remix button's for.
If anyone wants to tell any spooky stories for our next part of the
Oh.
podcast,
Kieran, I'm happy that you announced this, but I wanna
yeah.
do this again and like announce this in a proper spooky manner. All right? Because I'm gonna
Nice.
go all buck wild with the editing and add thunder and rain and
Oh.
I don't know, like gloomy things now.
And
'cause
snow,
we
depending
are
on where
telling-
you are in the U.S.
Because we
Or
are
the
telling
world.
spooky stories.
Viewers beware. You're in
Beware.
for a scare.
What a
That
scare.
rhymes.
Yeah.
It wasn't there
Whoa.
on Halloween.
Was that an intended rhyme? Quite.
Let's see.
Who can say? It was a.
I'm pretty
was
sure
just a
reader.
quote,
yeah,
so I
I'm
can't
pretty
take
sure reader
credit.
beware. You're in for a scare. That's from Goosebumps, right?
Sure it is.
Ooh,
It's a
I see.
Heck
famous
yeah.
ghost story book series in
Yes.
the
And show.
U.S. And well, series of
And
movies.
Yeah.
Oh, was it a show too?
Yeah, it was a
I guess it
show.
was
It
a
was,
show.
it was like a
It was a
series
show.
of movies and also a show and also
Yeah.
a movie and also another series.
It was popular, alright?
It's like a
Yeah.
Goosebumps
Series of Hallmark
cinematic
cards.
universe that I've completely missed out on.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
think- So now I have two stories to tell because one of them is Goosebumps related. Because we
Ooh.
also have that here. It's called Gänsehaut in Germany, which is probably less scary, but so there was this one episode of Goosebumps, or like my brother and I always like we watched, I don't know, our cartoons or whatever, and then at some point after, I don't know what time it was, but then they played Goosebumps, and we always hated watching that because we were like very young kids and we didn't like spooky stuff, so we
Right.
just said, okay, you know what, we're just gonna switch to the other cartoon on the other channel. But
Right.
one day we decided to not do that because we are old now. We're like 10. We could do this.
Heck yeah.
So we decided to watch Goosebumps, and I remember it was the worst episode like ever because we weren't able to sleep for like days.
Oh, like
Hey,
scariest.
what was he?
Yeah, it was the scariest. It was one of the scariest for
spooky.
sure.
Yeah.
It was the one with the puppet.
Oh,
Slappy,
Slappy?
the puppet. The Slappy,
Yes,
yes. Oh my
Slappy.
god.
Slappy's the best boy.
Slappy is
I
the
remember reading,
scariest
I
one,
remember
that's for
reading
sure.
a whole book where they went to this ultimate dimension where they had to these biggest characters of Goosebumps. Like-
Like, the thing about Slappy was like I don't even know. I don't remember all that much about the episode, but like just seeing a puppet, and I guess it's like Chucky right now.
Mhm.
But
Roughly.
it's
Mm,
yeah, it's like the knockoff Chucky, or is Chucky a knockoff of?
I think that one came first.
Okay.
Viewers,
So-
be savvy. You're in for a scavvy. Don't just go around searching what we're talking about because this is all Halloween stuff. It's gonna be
You
scary.
might,
yeah.
yeah,
Ask-
you might
ask
actually
your
get.
parents-
We might actually spook someone with this
Mhm.
Ask
episode.
your parents if they recognize what we're talking about,
There was
and if
And
they
then-
do, and they're like, "Don't watch it," then don't. You don't
Mhm.
need nightmares for months.
you don't need
Yeah,
that. You
exactly,
really do not
exactly.
need Nightmares for Months.
The
I've
thing
been
is-
there. It's not fun. I mean, I steered well clear of all of Goosebumps because I just was very easily scared as a kid.
Same, but like we were silly.
I
that one evening.
I loved Goosebumps. Like that was the like if there was Goosebumps on. Oh yes, we're gonna go to that instead of anywhere else.
I just didn't
Like-
really
Oh, dang.
feel like reading any of them, so.
Oh, but
Okay, so
So we have the full spectrum from me, where I'm like, absolutely not. Derite is like, absolutely, and then Kieran who's like, eh.
Like, eh.
I mean, there's like, I'm sure if I read it now or saw it now or whatever, it wouldn't be as scary. But as a kid, you're like easily scared of anything, right? And I guess even now I'm still easily scared of, because I still don't like to watch horror movies or stuff like that, because I don't get anything out of them. I'm not having fun while watching, and I'm not having fun afterwards. That's for sure. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
How are you guys about like scary stuff?
Like,
Awful. I
not
saw
very-
the trailer to a movie called Monster House when I was little, which was a movie about like these kids.
let
had
me
this, like,
guess.
old
They
rickety
go to a
house.
house, and there's
No.
monsters in it.
Not quite. There's this like old dilapidated house at the end of their street
Uh-huh.
with this old man in it, and they like are really kind of creeped out by the house in general. But then one night, the entire house comes to life and is this like terrifying
What?
monster, like
Oh.
house-shaped monster.
The
And
monster house is the
I
house.
only watched
Monster
the
House is
trailer
the
to
best.
this thing. I did not watch the movie. I just watched the trailer, and yet as we were driving home from the theater, every house I could just see like the windows as eyes. It was going crazy.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh, like Cars, but with a house.
I just want to tell a spooky story that happened to me once, actually.
Alright.
Just like it's nothing you can Google, so it's just atmosphere.
Google
Thunder
what
rumbling.
happened to Apfellord that night.
So basically, it was evening. I think it was summer or something, and a bunch of friends and I went to this. So this is like basically a place where cool, edgy teens hung out because it was illegal. I don't know. I don't even know if it was illegal to go there, but it was a
It was a place that was off
Decommissioned-
limits, and therefore,
it was a
of course,
decommissioned
you were gonna go
military
there.
It was the
Yeah,
cool
exactly.
kids zone.
It was a decommissioned military base. So you had this huge place that was like behind gates or whatever, but you could easily enter it. That wasn't the thing, and I think like they knew that the people running or that still owned that place knew. But like basically this huge place with like houses that were just
No, I don't have a
like,
story.
like broken houses, old houses. I don't know, like huge buildings that like were dark because there were no lights. There were only like I don't know if it was daylight. If it was daytime, then you had some lights going in there. But we went like in the evening or something, and like the atmosphere was set, right? it was, and we were just like like walking around, like seeing what there is to see. I guess just being teens, and we went into this house that had like 2 stories basically, right? And we went up the stairs slowly, and okay, I see I'm building this
Building tension.
atmosphere. Building
I'm on
tension.
the edge of my seat.
Dude. And we're walking past these rooms, and that's also the thing. There were always like these hallways, right? you had to look into one room, then the other, and whatever. And we looked into this one room, and there was like this whole. And I'm not kidding, but while I'm saying this, I 100% realize how like made up this is. But this whole wall was like, I'm gonna say it was painted red, right? I'm gonna say it was painted red. I don't think it was like actual anything super scary, but
it was very
painted
red.
Yeah, it was a very red painted wall and very like shimmery and like shiny. And
You just
like
went
one
into the
of
crimson.
us,
That's terrible.
yeah, exactly. One of us jokingly just said like, oh, you know, what's that? And one guy was like, oh, that's blood for sure. and like I don't know if it was just like out of pure chance, but we all just then like just looked at it and stopped talking for a second, and we heard this scratching coming from
no.
some room, and it
Oh,
got
no.
louder and got like faster. It was so weird. Like this is the weirdest thing. That's why I'm telling a spooky story. But like we just heard the scratching getting louder, and like I was like, we should go. We should probably go. And I have this on camera, by the way. I have all of this on camera. That's the amazing part about this. Like I don't know, going into this house, I just started filming because it was fun. And I have all of this on camera. And then I just said we should probably go, and then we just started going down the stairs, and my friend was like, we should probably run. And the scratching was still there. It was so weird. and we like looked into the house from the outside then, because we got out fine. It was nothing was following us or anything.
Good job.
But we got out just fine, and we looked into the house and we didn't see anything. It was...
Yeah.
Wait, was there no
Who's-
house, or was there just nothing in the house?
No. There was nothing in the windows. Like you could see through the windows.
Oh,
Like,
that's
okay, it
fine.
was the second story.
If the
obviously,
house had
but-
disappeared, that would have been Luigi Mansion 1.
That would have been another level of like, oh no.
what is happening?
That would have been pretty
Um,
spoopy.
But like now that I think about it, like obviously in that moment it was super weird. But now that I think about it, it was probably some animal or whatever. Like
Sure. Yeah.
because
An
Maybe it was
abandoned
some
house is bound
maybe
to
it was
have
some amateur
Yeah.
programmer
yeah.
scratching.
Oh.
You said you heard
Oh my
scratching,
god.
amateur programmer, comedy.
Yes, there was just some dude making a game on Scratch in there,
Yeah.
and nobody else.
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
Absolutely
People on Scratch
spooky.
terrifying. So that's my scary story. I hope you enjoyed and got spooked, because
Absolutely.
I
Both.
sure got spooked. And if anybody is doubting me, I'm gonna post the
He was
video.
spooked right out of the podcast for a sec.
Yeah. So yeah. That was that. I hope
Nice.
you enjoyed.
Hey, Quiet, do you have
Thunder rumbling.
do you have a spooky story?
Does anybody else have one?
Well,
Oh.
I will hold off until anyone else has told theirs because I don't really have a spooky story. I have a story though. So first of all, if anyone else wants to go first, you should.
Okay,
No.
okay.
It'll be
Okay, like-
funnier if I
Alright.
say my thing last.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So you just go ahead.
So
let,
this-
let us hear the thing.
Yes. So this is not a scary story. This is a story that could have been scary and then absolutely wasn't.
I'm excited.
I don't
I
know
haven't
how
heard
much
this one.
background I need to give for this, but and I'm not gonna mention like what the general name for this is because again, it doesn't need to be searched for. But there is a type of like internet ghost story that exists where I think you've probably heard of this. Where
I think
basically
I know what you mean.
it's usually based around video games for some reason.
Oh
and
my god,
it's
you
usually
bought a
something...
cursed cartridge?
Well, I'll get to that. And this was a
Oh,
dream, by
no.
the way. So,
Wait,
so
so
anyway,
you had a dream.
there's a
Okay.
kind of story where like someone will like buy an old copy of Pokemon and then they'll be playing it, and then things will start going, like they don't know where they got the game from and it looks weird, but they give it a try anyway. And then
There are
something's
weird
weird in
scratches
the
on the
game,
cartridge.
and then like, and then a scary skeleton jumps out, like that kind of thing.
Yes.
So I once had a dream that I was looking through my old collection of Game Boy Advance games, and I came upon a cartridge that was not a game I recognized. In fact, as opposed to the typical Game Boy Advance gray, it was solid black colored. And I turned it over because I couldn't see the other side where the name of the game is posted. I turned it over and it said Pokemon Cursed version.
Pokemon cursed.
Oh no!
So it was like the most blatant setup for it ever. And I guess even though I was asleep, my brain still knew what was up because I just yelled no at it like 1,000
No.
times and then just ate
Oh.
the cartridge.
You
What?
ate the cartridge.
Oh my god!
I guess Dream me just absolutely didn't want to have anything to do with it. Didn't want to do it. Just ate the cartridge. Now there's no problem. You can't play it.
Out of
Nothing's
sight,
gonna
out of
happen
mind.
because
Can't
I
play
ate the
Pokemon
cartridge.
cursed.
Yes.
That's funny because I actually have Pokemon Blessed. It's a white cart, and well,
Pokemon
much like every other Pokemon generation, it directly contrasts Pokemon Cursed in
Of
that
course,
it's
of
inedible.
Pokemon, it's inedible.
Yeah.
It is true.
Besides that joke I came up with on the fly, I don't really have a spookier story because there's nothing spookier than not getting any questions on the ScratchRunning Podcast
Oh
Q&A
my
box.
No.
Can't scare me
No.
like that.
It's a sad day to be an internet funny man.
When you have nobody asking you anything.
Next
Like,
time.
we do
you can
have-
actually answer.
But it's fine because we do have another form of viewer interaction, right?
Mm.
Yeah, we ran polls in every episode and forgot to mention the results.
Yeah.
But we remembered the results. We
Good
just didn't
job,
talk about
us.
it.
So we have a lot of results.
Mhm.
So we once asked, where would you program after Scratch? And the majority of people said that they would like to learn a game engine like Unity or Unreal.
A lot of people also said an engine like Unity Game Maker sounds nice.
Yeah,
So
that'd be good. Because, yeah, you can make your own video games. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And
Like,
just you
Unity
get a little more, like it takes more
help.
effort, but you get more tools, and yet
Exactly,
it's not all
exactly.
the way to like just code.
Another time we asked, are you creative outside of Scratch, and in what way? And 58 of you said that you like to draw and
Sketch.
do art.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sketch outside of Scratch.
not bad.
You sketch outside of Scratch.
Yeah.
Nice. Like, what do you think? Why is this? Like, why a lot of people just draw? Like, when they're not on Scratch necessarily.
Maybe,
I mean, you can also post it to Scratch, right? But
yeah.
I think it just comes in like it's just the
It's just like a quick and
If you're
simple way to be
creative, yeah.
creative, you know?
yeah. If you're creative, I think you are always sketching something. It doesn't even like a lot of people. I've met a lot of people that are like creative outside of this because I went to a school for like graphic design, I guess, and a lot of
Nice.
people there came there because in the end the job is basically just you do what other people want, not what you want. But
Yeah, you just kind of get
um,
commissions.
yeah, exactly. But a lot of people come to these like or learn this job because they are creative themselves, and then it doesn't matter if the people I met are like they like to make movies or they like to animate or whatever, but they always like to sketch, and that's what I've noticed. So it's like the most basic form of being creative.
Yeah,
So there's
think
that. I think
art
that's
does sometimes bring people to get together.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Scratch is the best example of this. I think like projects on Scratch and everything like is art, is a form of art.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
We do have more
So-
poll results, and
Yeah.
we asked, what would you like to see on our YouTube channel, ScratchRunning?
Mm.
And all of you, nearly all of you, said that we want Let's Plays of browser games. I think that was the result that a stack % of people voted for.
Stack.
64.
Whole stack.
Minecraft.
4%.
Yeah. A lot of people want the Skywire 1 Let's Play, the sequel to the Skywire 2 Let's
It's
Play.
gonna happen. I find it funny that 0% of the people voted for tutorials and stuff like that.
Like, if you
People
if
just
you
don't
want to learn
these
how to
days.
code, you can just subscribe to Griffpatch instead.
That's true. That's true. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there's probably better places than than our YouTube channel for tutorials that are Scratch related or any like code related stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's also 15% that would just like to listen to the podcast because it's obviously a better
I mean, yeah,
like platform.
it's a better platform than Scratch.
Yeah.
We
Because
asked
here you can just yeah.
people how they found out about the SRCast, and they just kind of found it while browsing the website.
which I find very interesting.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of
It's
people
like
joined because of
someone
TNT.
will love the project, and then it'll show up in everyone else's feeds, and that's some nice that's a nice way to build an audience, I think.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you investigate it, you can find the podcast, you can find the community, you can find the channel, all sorts of things.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We're like
like
a treasure
so-
hunt, but a podcast.
Ooh. Sometimes people will left click, leave a comment, and then just alt left out and never talk about it again. But if someone
Yep.
listens to the whole thing and leaves a constructive comment, that is when I say thanks for listening. Because I always reply to comments with thanks for listening, and
If they are actually,
yeah,
you
Well, because then they did.
can actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
if they just said
Makes sense.
good and moved on, then it's not really the same.
They probably weren't listening, because if they were listening, they would have been like, "Hey, can Quite not do what he did?" I have much constructive criticism for Quite.
Can you please not talk about scary stories
Yeah,
all the time?
yeah.
That's just
Please stop
Uh.
playing Super Fighter Tournament. It triggers my PTSD of that one time at Scratch Running Kieran and it beat me with Edward 5 games in a row.
that was scary. So yeah, that's thanks for
That's the poll
taking part
results.
in the
Thanks for
polls.
voting in the polls. We're probably going to have
Yep.
more this episode.
I can't like ask directly what spooky story you had, but if any of you, to get back to the earlier thing, if any of you have any spooky stories you want to tell, leave them in the comments, I guess.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah.
the best place.
That'd be pretty
Um,
spooky of you.
Just keep it like not spooky,
Like,
or
keep it
to a
spooky
certain.
enough for Scratch.
Yeah, keep
Exactly.
it manageably spooky.
Yes,
Hmm.
I hope mine was manageably spoopy.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It was just paint.
Is it a house?
It was just paint, and I'm pretty sure it was paint. I'm 100% serious.
Yeah.
It was
No,
just
sure.
the scratching that was weird.
Yeah.
As always, scratching is weird,
Scratching is weird.
which is why we're here.
Yeah.
um, I just like after telling the story, I realized, or when you guys mentioned it, I realized how ironic that is. But yeah,
The same scratching that was in this building is now in this podcast.
Oh no. It was me all along.
It was Scratch Cat all along.
Oh no.
So I think
We
now that we've what have we done? We talked about spooky stories. We've talked
talked
about
about Halloween browser
games.
games. We didn't
We
talk
talked about
about
Duel
Halloween things in games, did we?
kind of.
You mentioned
I
the
guess, like,
Terraria Halloween event.
Yeah.
Run 3 has
That's-
Halloween alts if you beat the low power tunnel. So you can
Ooh.
put a pumpkin on the runner.
Excellent.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
When
So,
you asked that previous to the episode, the only thing I could think of was Pumpkin Hill from Sonic Adventure 2, and I was like, I don't know how many people are gonna get that.
Is that a Halloween
Pumpkin Hill.
reference?
I mean,
Maybe.
it's if not, it's very close to Halloween because it's
Yeah.
pumpkins, it's ghosts, it's
Spending
I don't know,
10
something about the
spending
music is
10
very-
minutes looking for the Master Emerald is kind of spooky.
it is.
Wait, doesn't Minecraft always do something for Halloween?
Think
Like,
Do they?
like literally, like add a new like little thing to the game?
I'm sure
Because I know
there's a jack-o'-lantern
Nether.
and there's a carved pumpkin.
Yeah. I know the
Those
Nether
phantom
was added
things.
for
Hmm.
for Halloween back then.
1.4 was the pretty scary update. So
Yeah, yeah. And then like when did they add that that thing? Because that actually startled me when I played Minecraft.
The Phantoms?
the cave sounds.
No. Okay, that also. But the thing where there's like a skeleton horse on a hill or whatever.
Ah, yeah, the skeleton horse, and if you approach it,
Yes.
lightning strikes it. And
And 4 horsemen
Yeah.
appear. Like who-
skeleton horseman. Who decided that?
I don't even know why Minecraft can be so scary. There's like whole compilations of people just being like
Yeah.
spooked out of their minds by
Perfectly
Minecraft by like a
cut
silver.
Minecraft screams. But you know what? I actually managed to fight off all the skeleton horsemen, and that's why I have like 4 skeleton horses in that Minecraft server we used to play.
Oh, you have to wait. So you kill them without like fighting
you
the
can
horse
kill the
itself, and then-
skeleton horseman without killing the horse, and that's how you get yourself your own
Ooh, that's how you get
skeleton
'em.
horse.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I think that's all the topics we have right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does anybody of you have anything other or any other Halloween related stuff or spook related stuff?
Nothing for
If
me.
not, then I think
Yeah.
we'll just call it a day.
Spook
say
scribe
thank you.
to Scratch Running.
Spook,
Mhm.
That's right.
spook, scribe to scratch.
So
running.
yeah.
Do a
Please do.
spooky click and click that follow button.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode of the Scratch Running Podcast. You can feel free to follow Scratch Running on Scratch, as well as all of our hosts. I'm Kieran. My Scratch username is KTrav258.
I'm Apfellord. You can follow me if you want to.
Follow up for all
There's gonna be some stuff coming up, I hope. Maybe
Mhm.
even a Halloween Monster World update.
Ooh, Monster
Now that I've
World.
said this, I kind of have to make one, but if not, I'll just edit everything out and nothing
Uh-oh.
ever happened.
And I am HmYesQuite, as usual.
And I'm Josers.
Right.
Yeah.
Not Derite4 this time, but Josers.
Well, both technically,
Yeah.
but you can,
More stuff is happening on Josers, right?
yeah, more. Yeah, I just hit
Okay.
100 followers and I'm
Ooh,
Congrats.
a special.
You're on your way to overtaking
Congrats.
Scratch Running.
Can we get-
Maybe. Oh,
Hmm.
no, I don't want to do that.
Remember us when you hit the big leagues.
Oh, okay. I have one thing I
You
want
have
for
one
the end
last
of
thing
this
to
episode.
shill.
I have
Ooh.
one. No, I have just one question to HmYesQuite,
Okay,
because I know he owns a trumpet.
I do.
Do you have it with you right now?
Oh my god.
I'm very sorry, I don't.
No.
Were we gonna get a doot?
I wanted a dude. Oh,
Listen,
okay.
at a later
No.
date, maybe if we make it to next year,
Thanksgiving? Christmas?
you terrible
Year's?
people have it on record. Next year I will
You will.
I shall
record a balanced sound recording of me playing that
Playing the
old
dude.
Halloween favorite.
New Year's.
Dude. Thank
dude.
Mr. Quite.
New Year's. It's gonna have to be New Year's. It has to be New Year's. Please be New Year's.
Please, just
All
at
right.
some point we need a dude. So
Yes.
I guess I'll just edit one in then. 'Cause
Yeah.
I really want to dude at
Nice.
the end.
I'll
Like,
look you up.
My idea was, could you dude to the sound of like see the next time and whatever Kieran says at the
Oh
end.
my god.
So it's
That would have been funny.
so I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess for another day.
So yeah.
I'm sorry, people out
See
there.
the next. That's never gonna stop being funny, by the way.
Yeah. Also my.
My.
Bye.
Alright,
Yeah.
let's-
Stay spooky. The recording has now stopped.